Hello internet world, welcome to a new video on the Geekanoids channel. In today's video I'm going to be covering a topic, a live Q&A, all about business, running your own business, being self-employed, time management, tips and tricks that I've picked up over the past sort of 20-25 years. The one tip or the one skill I haven't picked up is still not making any mistakes during my live broadcasts, which I find quite funny, but you learn something new every day. That's something I've certainly come to discover over my many years of running multiple businesses, that you're always learning, always learning. Now this is a Q&A. I have got some topics that I want to cover off during this video, and I will take a look inside the live chat from time to time to take your questions. Some of you have already sent in questions via social media and via email, so I'll be covering those questions as well. This is live, of course. You can use the live chat. If you want your question or comment highlighted, then you can also use the super chat. And if you're watching this after the live broadcast and you've still got business related questions, that is absolutely fine. Still put those questions down in the comment section below, and I'll either reply to your comment or I'll save the question for another business Q&A for a future video. So without further ado, let's just cover off a couple of topics first of all. So the benefits of being self-employed and working for yourself. The biggest benefits are that you're your own boss. You don't have to answer to anyone. That can be a pro and a con, but certainly being in control of your own time, how your business is going to run, your sort of goals for the business, your sort of ethics around the business. You know, what are your sort of key priorities, be that quality of product, customer service, for example. They're all controlled by you. So it's a great feeling being in control of your own sort of business and destiny. So that's one of the biggest benefits. Obviously, being in control of your time as well, again, is a pro and a con, and we'll come on to time management and the cons of being self-employed and running your own business shortly. But being able to control your working hours is a real big plus, because we've all got certain types of lifestyle, be that family commitment. Some of us have challenging lifestyles as well, and being able to fit in your business around that is a big benefit. So for example, if you're a carer as well, just a wild card example, if you care for somebody and you need to do that certain times of the day, if you had a regular 9-to-5 job, that would be very difficult unless you had a very understanding employer. But being self-employed and running your own business, you can obviously fit those tasks and things that you need to do throughout the day around your business. So that's a key benefit. The cons of being self-employed, on the flip side of that, is that you have to be very organised and you have to manage your time wisely. And I think, this is just my personal opinion, I think you still have to dress for business. You see a lot of people, especially in the YouTube world, saying, you know, I dress from the top up for the camera and that's it. You know, I can lounge around in whatever clothes I want for the day. That's okay. You know, you make your own choices. I still feel that you should get up and have a good routine and manage your time really well throughout the day and look presentable and treat yourself nicely. You know, really sort of treat yourself as though you're going out for a job, but then you bring things back and realise that, okay, you might be working from home or a small office or a retail outlet, or you might have big business premises. Still, I think you should dress for the part and set a good example for, especially if you've got employees, set a good example for them as well. Now, one of the biggest questions that I didn't get sent in this time, but one of the biggest questions I get asked many times is, should I give up my day job? At what stage do I stop doing what I'm doing in a day job and become self-employed? That is a very difficult question to answer, because it depends upon your financial commitments. First of all, can you afford to give up your day job? Very important question. And really what I would advise is that if you're thinking of doing something as your own business, is to try it first. I know it means working long hours, but if you're determined to run your own business, then you should be determined enough to work long hours for a certain period of time. And what I would suggest as an example is, say you're working a 9 to 5 and you want to do content creation on YouTube, or you want to do another business selling a service or a product, is to work that into your time management. So it might mean giving up going out and socializing for 6 months. Work in the evenings, get up 2-3 hours earlier in the morning, and set yourself sort of some time blocks in the sort of morning or the evening, or if you work different shift patterns when you've got spare time, set yourself these 1, 2, 3 hour time blocks and set your business up in your spare time. And then when your income from your self-employment or from your own business equals or almost equals what you either need to financially survive or equals what you're earning from your employment, then the decision becomes a whole lot easier. So that's my main sort of advice around sort of whether you should give up your daytime job or your paid employment. So, and I hate the word hustle, but side hustle first. That is my main advice, is to do your new business on the side until it becomes financially stable enough to give up your daytime job. So I would never give up a paid employment just on the hunch that my new business idea is going to work. Test it first. Market research, people. Now I'm going to take some questions later on in this video, but I do want to say a big hello to Andy, HHHDX and Pyramid 7. Thank you very much for tuning in live. Let's take a look at Andy's question. One question I have is, I'm currently looking at getting multiple revenue streams. I have Amazon Associates and I'm an affiliate for TubeBuddy. What other revenue streams would you recommend? Very, very good question. Let's take that one straight away from Andy. So Andy's talking about not relying on just one revenue stream, so one source of income. Now, using myself as an example, I would never, ever rely or recommend on relying on like YouTube revenue alone. So when we do YouTube videos, adverts are placed alongside those videos and you earn revenue from them. It's never the same from month to month. So it's always important to have multiple sources of revenue or multiple revenue streams. And that can be, as per Andy's example, affiliate schemes, so Amazon Associates and being affiliates for different companies. And what that means is, if you feature a company's product and you're an affiliate of theirs and you place a link to their product in the video description, if a viewer clicks on that and makes a purchase, it doesn't cost that viewer any more money, but the company pays you a small percentage of commission for sending that sale to their website or to their business. So it's a way of earning another revenue stream. Andy's asking, what other revenue streams would I recommend? I would certainly recommend, especially if you're producing video, for example, is reaching out to and working with brands directly. So if they want things like product placement, sponsored demonstration videos, and these sponsored demonstration videos don't necessarily have to go on YouTube. I've done videos that only ever appear on Amazon alongside product listings. So working direct with brands is a really good way of another revenue stream. Another revenue stream could be that you sort of sell products on the side, utilize eBay or Amazon Marketplace and become an Amazon reseller. But certainly I think the biggest thing I would advise, especially if you are using YouTube at the moment, is use it as a platform. So use it to tell people where else you are. Start an email list as well. Email subscription lists are a very good way of having a direct connection with your audience. or with your, not necessarily just your audience on YouTube, but any type of business, if you can set up an email subscription list where you can send out directly to your potential customers, be that business to business or business to customer, then you've got a direct way of instantly contacting them when you launch a new product, service, video, whatever it is that you're producing. So email subscription list, work direct with brands, look at possibly utilizing reselling as well. So I hope that helps. That's just a few ideas for you, Andy. Pyramid 7, when I was talking about only dressing from the top up, has put a funny comment in the live chat. Very, very funny indeed. Right, back to some more topics to cover off. Time management. If you are working for yourself, time management is extremely important. Back in the day, multitasking used to be cool. It used to be about having, so I know I've got 2 monitors here, but it used to be about having multiple monitors, multiple applications up and running on your computer, doing lots of things at the same time. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's far, far too distracting. So my advice to you with time management is to have a written organizer. So I use this to plan my day out on, and I have a to-do list. I have a manageable to-do list. There's nothing worse than getting to the end of the day and having things you haven't completed. So a manageable amount on your to-do list so that you can tick them off as you do them, and do time batching. This is a very important method that I've been using lately, and it really does work. So time batching. So segment your day into like 30-minute segments or 1-hour segments, and set those 30 minutes to just doing emails, and then the next 30 minutes to just doing maybe your social media replies, and then the next 30 minutes to just doing maybe your social media posts on Twitter and Instagram, and then your next hour and a half to doing video production or working on your email subscription list or working on some promotional material. And if you segment your day into these sort of time batches, then when you complete a task, you're focused just on that single task. You get it done much more efficiently, and then you can move on to the next one. Whereas if you're flicking backwards and forwards between different things to do, you're never truly focused on completing a single thing to your best of your ability. So use these time batches to really focus on individual tasks. So I found it works extremely well. Also, just covering a little bit more on time management, it's not all fun being self-employed. You do have to be quite strict for yourself. So have time during the day, when you're not sleeping, of course, but have time during that day for business and for personal life. And it's very important you spend time away from the business with friends and family. And when you're in that zone, don't do any business stuff. Treat yourself to that time off. After all, if you did a 9-to-5 job, you'd get up at, 7:30 a.m. in the morning, have your breakfast, have a shower, get to work. You'd work for those 8 hours, and then when you got home, that would be your personal time. So do the same, even if you're working for yourself. Give yourself that personal time. Right, let's pop back into the live chat, and then I'm going to cover off some questions that I've got sent in via email and social media. Andy has come back in with a comment. I currently have some companies sending me products which I review, so I get free products which I usually give away on Twitch. That is a really good example. So rather than selling the products, Andy's using the products to give away on Twitch, and that's a really good way of using them as a promotional item to bring in more interest in the content that you're making. So that's a really good way of doing things, Andy. Andy's also currently trying to build up an email list. Very, very important to do. David Butler, good morning to you. Thanks for tuning in live. Francisco, I want to start a blog, but how do I make money by operating a blog? So a website where you're going to do maybe daily updates. One of the main ways of creating revenue is to, well, there's two really, but one of the ones you can start off with, again, goes back to the earlier discussion about affiliate marketing. So sign up to Amazon Associates, contact companies that sell products that are related to the content of your blog. So if you're doing a blog on running, for example, or health and fitness, contact companies that sell running shoes, health and fitness equipment, and ask them if they've got an affiliate scheme that you can join. And then when you place adverts from their website or links from their website, if sales come in, then you earn a little bit of commission. That gives you some money coming in to run your website, or as you call it, your blog. And then you can move on to, once your website becomes a little bit more popular, and you've got some good figures of sort of readership figures coming in, then you can start looking at selling advertising. So as well as doing affiliate marketing, you can sell advertising direct to brands that want to have their products in front of your readership. So I hope that's helped a bit. Let's take a couple of the questions that came in via email and social media. Jez asked, how much do you reinvest in your business? Using myself as an example, not every business is going to be the same. I set myself a percentage. So of the profit that comes into the business, I set myself a 10 to 15% reinvestment budget. So for example, if over a month I have £1,000 profit come in, then I would reinvest between £100 to £150. And that could be on equipment. So it could be production equipment like microphones, cameras, little accessories, tripods, for example. Or it could be that I spend that £100 to £150 budget on marketing. So it could be on some new branding material, some new graphics, something for the website, reaching out to other companies, printed material as well. Or it could be that I reinvest that into something that's going to make the organisational the organisation of my business easier. So it could be something like a new filing system, something that's going to improve how I run the business and my efficiency. Lots of different things, but in answer to your question, Jez, 10 to 15% is what I personally reinvest, but that could be different from business to business, and it can also be very different when you first start up. So when you're starting up a new business, there's a lot of money to be spent. So it could be that you're reinvesting almost all of it and living on like a shoestring budget and spending very minimal amount on food and rent and clothing and putting as much as you can back into the business. So really good question from Jez. Paul, how do you do your accounts? Very good question. If you are earning money from a business, you can call it a hobby, but if you're earning money from it, it's a business, and the taxman will want to know what you are earning. It's very important that you keep good accounts. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about organisational skills and accounts a little bit later on, but how do I do my accounts? Well, any invoices that come in or go out go into one single tray. I have online software that I use. I use QuickBooks Self-Employed for my accounting, which links to my bank account, and it pulls in all of my transactions, so all of my income and all of my outgoings. It pulls it into the software, and then once a month I go through everything, make sure I've got all my paperwork in order. It goes into a nice neat folder, and then at the end of each tax year I can generate a report and submit my taxes and pay what taxes are due. It's also very important, if you're self-employed, because you're meant to pay your own taxes, that when you pay yourself, you put your tax to one side, so there's no surprises later on. Prepare for paying your tax, and in the UK we pay national insurance as well, which I think is 10%. Don't quote me on that, or 10% of your profit, I think it is. Again, don't quote me on those figures, but do prepare for your tax, so that when the tax year ends and you have to pay your tax, you've got that money put aside. Don't spend it all. Believe me, don't spend it all. Last question that came in via email is from Karen. How many hours do you work per week? So again, this can vary from business to business, but you're asking me how many hours I work per week. I normally start around about 7 a.m. and I normally finish around about 7 p.m. So it's 12 hours per day. I take an hour off, roughly an hour for lunch. But let's call it 12 hours per day, and do that 5 days per week. So if my maths are correct, then that is 60 hours. And then I occasionally do about 4 hours over a weekend. So we'll call it 65 hours per week is what I personally work in my business. Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit less. The benefit of being self-employed as well is you can take time off and schedule that in. There's always a flip side, of course. When you're not working, you're not always earning, unless you're building up like this residual income, which is for a whole other video. Residual income is a whole video in itself. So that is all of the questions that came in via social media and email. I'll take another look inside the live chat in a short while, so if you've got any more questions, please do post them in the live chat. I mentioned to you I talk a little bit more about being organised, and it really is a key skill. You really do have to be very, very organised with both how you're going to manage your time, how you're going to plan your day, plan your schedules, how you're going to keep all of your paperwork for your accounting, the horrible subject that we talked about earlier on. One other tip, just coming back to the accounting side of things, is when I first started my businesses, I used to do my accounts maybe once or twice per year. So I used to collate everything in one place and then spend hours upon hours doing my accounts. I used to hate it. Now, I still don't like it. It's not my favourite task, but I do my accounts every single month. So I set a day each month in my planner. It's written in there. I set a day each month, and I make sure all my invoices, ingoing and outgoing invoices, are married up with my transactions in my account. They're all ticked off, all filed away every month, and I've got it down to around about an hour per month, which I think is pretty good. So be very organised in the way you do things. And even when I'm recording videos and testing products, I book the products in, I make a note of all the products, I schedule the video, I do the thumbnail and the description for the video, and then that product is then in a particular cupboard ready to be tested, and I know I've got X number of days or weeks to test that product before I do the video. So again, very, very organised, and you can apply these organisational skills not just to creating content on YouTube, but into many different things. So, even if you're offering a service, be very methodical in how you're going to offer, promote, deliver all of the services that you're offering. So you've got to have a very, very good chain of thought and something in place. You've got to have a method in place as to how you're going to deliver the best experience to your clients or customers. We come on to my last point in a short while, but let's take another look inside the live chat. We have got Addy and Gabby Vlog. Good morning to you. Thanks for tuning in live. Also Raymond Moore and Latrix199. Again, hello. Thank you very much for tuning in. I think we're going to bring this particular business Q&A to an end very shortly. As I mentioned before, if you're watching this after the live broadcast and you've still got questions, then please do pop them down in the comment section below. I'll answer as many as I can, but if they're really good questions, then I might well save them for another business Q&A in the future. In closing, I want to just really give you some advice. Something I've learned over the years is that you've really got to believe in yourself. When I first started creating content on YouTube, I was very nervous and I didn't know if it was going to work. There were people that said it was a silly idea. There were some people that supported me a lot, and I'm very grateful for that. But you've really got to believe in what you're doing. You've also got to know and accept that it is okay to be different. It really is okay to be different in what you're planning on doing. And the reason that is because if you did the same as everybody else, then you wouldn't stand out from the crowd. It would be just another content creator or just another business advice company, or just another window fitting company, or just another gardening services, or just another hairdresser. You'd all melt into one. There would be no differentiator in what you're doing. So offer something in your business that's unique, whether that be in the actual end product, the way you deliver it, or your customer service skills, quality. It could be something. Just pick out on something that's going to make you really unique in the way you carry out your business, and then that makes you stand out from the crowd. That is it for this particular business Q&A. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe. I mainly do tech videos. I publish a new video pretty much every single day. Plenty of them are live like this one, so please do hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on my future videos. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Have a fantastic day ahead. We're almost at the weekend as well, so have a great weekend, and I'll see you in another video very, very soon.